Hi again, everyone. It's Mr. Cook coming to you again from the school garden on this nice and sunny day. We had some rain last night, so the ground's nice and wet and the plants are probably sucking that up through their roots. And I was going to go check on how the garden is doing, and also keeping in mind the question I asked you last week is how can I tell what is living and what is not living in and around the garden? So let's go. So one thing that greeted me in the garden today was this bird way over there on the fence. I'm hearing it chirp, sing a little bird song. So that was a nice thing to come to the garden to. But I'm also thinking about, the same question of what is a living thing and what is not. It stopped singing a song. It's moving around now. But one thing that really makes me think this is a living thing is it's moving and singing a song. It's making noise. I wonder why it's singing a song. Maybe just because it's a nice sunny day. Another thing that caught my eye in the garden by this pot of basil plants was this little moving thing. A bug of some kind, little insect moving around. I see some legs moving. I see it has some markings on its body. It looks like I can tell the front of it, where its head might be. But I wonder what it's doing. Do you think this is a living thing? How can you tell? What makes you think so? This is actually a baby ladybug. This is what they look like. Kind of different from what you may expect. A thing I'm excited to see happening in the garden is some of these little green sprouts in this planting bed. You can see them coming up in these nice rows, and some going that way. But my question for you is, do you think this is a living thing or not? Are these little sprouts alive? Why do you think so or not? I'll let you know some of my thinking. So I planted these as seeds last week, and now I'm seeing these green leaves and sprouts coming out of the ground, out of the soil. So that shows some change. So I also have some sad news to report in the garden today. This white flower plant that we looked at last week, part of it has broken at the stem and fallen over. Looks like it's still green, not dried up and dying yet. But I did want to show you, last week we looked at some of these little round balls, these buds, and I wondered if those are what turn into these nice white flowers. And I noticed some change. Down here are some buds that look like they're starting to open up. I see white petals starting to emerge. Here's another one. So those little buds or round things, they're changing and they're turning into these flowers. I think that's pretty cool. Following up from another thing from last week, these were these little pebbles I showed you in the last video. Just thinking again about why or why not we think this is a living thing. I said I didn't think it was alive. These little pebbles They're still in the same exact spot I left them last week, sitting on top of this nice dark soil. These things I don't think are alive. They just kind of sit here. They don't grow or change or move unless something pushes them. Right? But I do notice all of these plants growing out of the soil by these rocks. Those do change. Over time, they grow from a little seed, and eventually they'll get cold and turn brown and shrivel and die. We'll see that as we get closer to winter. Another thing going on in this pebbly soil is I noticed a lot of ants crawling around. Can you see them? See quite a few bustling around. Wonder what they're doing in the soil. Maybe they have a home in this corner. I wonder. So that's where I'll leave things for today. We saw a singing bird. We saw a little baby ladybug. Looked at the rocks, the soil, some of the plants, those little baby sprouts, and the white flower plant. And thinking about all these things, I think I could group them into two categories, two groups, right? We have plants and we have animals. And I'm thinking about what do they have in common, right? They're both living things. They grow and change over time. Animals also move around. Plants don't move, we don't think of them, but they do grow and change a lot, right? Over the course of a whole year, a tiny seed can grow into a whole plant, like this tomato plant behind me. So I'll leave you with this today, and I'm gonna go enjoy some few tomatoes. But I will see you next time from the garden. I hope you are all doing well.